It's consistently the worst design feature in nearly every late model Toyota. Today in the garage, we're looking at cup holders in the 2009 Lexus RX350.
I've owned a lot of Toyota vehicles. In fact, for the last 27 years, I've only owned Toyota vehicles. This is largely due to the fact Toyotas have a reputation for being long-lasting and reliable. And that's because Toyota's governing principle is focused on continuous improvement. It's a principle that has molded Toyota into the world's largest automaker. But for a company who's built a stellar reputation for delivering effective solutions, Toyota is consistently terrible with its cup holder design. There are many examples I can think of just in my own history with Toyota cars. My 96 SC400 forced you to set your drink hanging precariously over your passenger's legs, and would 100% get them wet if you did not exercise initial D-level control of your vehicle in a turn. My 95 Celica forced you to choose between having a drink and being able to shift into second, fourth, or reverse. My MR2, they seem to have forgotten to include a cup holder altogether, making me the weirdo that always buckled my water bottle into the passenger seat so it didn't go flying around when I took a drive. And that's just from high school and college. Because as I left my 20s and 30s behind and stopped buying 90s Toyotas, I started buying vehicles built in the very early 2000s. Yet the cup holder design remained predictably abysmal. My ES300 has a cup holder that holds your drink so loosely that you need to choose between pressing the brake pedal or having your drink fly forward into your radio. My first gen IS300 gives you a small rectangle in the center console with just barely enough room to hold a miniature version can of a Dr. Pepper. And inexplicably, the Highlander of the exact same year somehow went the opposite direction. And then my 2009 RX350, that somehow made it through the design phase with a team of engineers agreeing that it's perfectly acceptable to make you choose between holding a can of soda or having conditioned air on the left side of your body. To be fair, there are other cup holders in the RX350, which is fortunate because the one blocking the AC vent has a habit of breaking, and that's where we're at today. So let's take a moment and see if we can't solve this problem. Okay, so here we are at the driver's side of the RX350, and here is our patient. So I'm pushing on the cup holder itself. It is retracted in, but it will not extend back out. Sometimes you can get underneath there and pull it out manually. This is unfortunately not one of those times. I would have to get a pick, but what you can do is grab onto this lower panel here and pull straight out. And then underneath you will see two fasteners holding this vent and cup holder on. There's a screw here, and then a little further back there is a 10mm nut on there that captures it. Alright, so you're gonna get your 10mm on an extension. If you use a deep socket, that worked pretty well. And you can get it on there. Make a small adjustment here to make sure I'm loosening. And there we go. So once it's broken free, you can just pull the extension off. I'm going to use it like a screwdriver. Try and get it to purchase back on that nut. And once it's locked in, I can just unscrew it. Okay, there's our nut. And one screw here. Alright, from here you can just grab onto the top and the bottom. A pry tool may be useful here, but I recently replaced this dash. If you have an older dash or it's starting to develop cracks, I would be very wary about using any sort of pry tool on that foam. It tends to leave like either additional cracks or some gouges in there. So this can be done without actually using a pry tool. I'm going to attempt that here. I will say with a pry tool it is much easier because you can get force directly on those clips on there, and we'll speed this up just a little bit because I'm all over the place with the camera. I apologize for the head bobbing. This is my first time wearing a camera on my head, and I did not think about the fact that every time I looked around, it was taking you guys for a ride with it. Okay, so finally that one popped out, and we'll take it over to the bench. Okay, here we are with our vent at the bench, and I've got a small pick here. You can see there were two clips here that I actually broke previously when I replaced the dash, but just be aware of them. So you'll see the vent is connected to the faceplate right there, and then two clips up top. Now, since the two clips on the side are already separated, I'm just going to grab this pick and see if I can't get underneath there and pop the vent off. Alright, there goes one. And just checking, camera's still rolling. And there's two. So our vent should be free now. Now, when I was prying it out of the car, it looks like I dislodged some of those fins. You can just gently pry on the plastic and snap that fin back into the hole that it went into previously. But certainly make sure you do that before you reinstall it, because it will crack those little tabs on the end. Okay, and now the cup holder itself. There are two clips up top here that are holding it in, and then two clips on the bottom. Now the tops are actually fairly easy. They're pretty shallow, so that's not too bad. The bottom is a little deeper, so you're gonna have to do some prying. I had to do a little bit of fiddling with this for a few minutes. It seems like every time I would pop one tab out on one side, the one next to it would pop back into place. I'll go ahead and speed this part up so you're not having to sit through the entire thing in real time. Okay, there we go. Now that end is loose. That'll pop right off. And there were two tabs there and two tabs there holding it on. And you can see on the vent here that there are the corresponding holes that those will slide into. So we'll set that off to the side, and we'll take a look at our cup holder. So this metal tab right here, and this is where I've seen them whenever they get sprung. That is actually the spring. It winds up on this reel right here, and it is supposed to connect. Oh, here's our little tab. It's supposed to connect right there. So that tab is broken off, and the spring has clipped onto the cup holder itself rather than resting in that tab. And that's where it's supposed to live. There you go. And you can see it retracted back on that reel there because the tab wasn't in place to hold the spring. Now this actually will still function, so if you push it in and pull it back out, it will still catch So the pin goes back, pulls in, gets caught in there. Then when you push it the second time, it will retract out. Alright, so let's put this down and I will take a few measurements and see what we can do. Alright, so I took some measurements and ultimately what I settled on was building a plate that would sit inside the cup holder tray that was a little over 1/16 of an inch thick, and the idea was I would provide 2 new tabs for the spring to ride on. Here I am designing it in Corel Draw so that we can actually go ahead and send this over to the laser to cut this out of a plastic material that has an adhesive on one side. You can actually do this out of a piece of tin as well and either double side tape or possibly rivet it to the bottom of the cup holder. I think the self-adhesive plastic is probably the easiest route to go. However, not everybody will have a laser with which to cut it on. So I will provide the laserable file for those that are interested in that. I will also provide the measurements in case you just want to cut this with a pair of tin snips or a Dremel or something similar. And since I could fit quite a few of these on this sheet, the extras I'll go ahead and put a link up to on eBay or something, and if you're interested, for a couple of bucks you can have one of these mailed to you. I live in Texas and there are many endearing things about our state, but mild temperate summers don't make the list. As of the time of the recording, it's the middle of July, and I've had this cup holder in for about a week. During that time, just to make sure that it will hold, I've probably done several hundred cycles open and close with it. So I'm fairly confident the material that we're working with here will be able to withstand use throughout the year. And on screen now are the measurements in inches in case you want to make it yourself. And now we're ready for reassembly. I'm going to start by taking a little alcohol, putting it on a cloth here so that we can clean the mounting surface. And it's going to be upside down and on the inside facing you from here. Mine had some grease on there, likely from the factory. That was on the track, but we're just going to do the best we can to make sure that that surface is clean of any contaminants so that the adhesive has a good surface. And I'm going to open it slightly and pull one of the tabs off of the sheet that I cut out on the laser. And what we're going to try and do here is reframe the gap to match what it was originally. So you don't want to line it up with the current gap. You want to move this so that the opening remakes the original size opening that was in there. And this is just a pressure sensitive adhesive, so a little firm pressure should be all it takes to get that to bond. On mine it bonded very well. Now flip it around here, just put a little more pressure with my thumbs until I feel confident that that's well secured. And from there, I'm going to open this tray slightly, and you can see the spring here, and I'm just going to roll it forward until the end of the spring is facing the front of the cup holder. And I can reach in and grab that and pull it out. You're going to pull it past the tab and hook it onto the end. Okay, and there we go. And you'll see the movement is a little erratic here. What I've found is if you go and add that grease back in along that rail, that will smooth out pretty well. Alright, from here we're ready to reassemble our AC vent. So there's these two holes up here, and what I found was pushing straight in did not really allow it to snap in. What I ultimately had to do was kind of rock it in. And you're going to want to test here that you're in all 4 clips, otherwise the door does not open correctly for the cup holder. But just keep pushing it in until all 4 snap in place. And when they are there, you should find that the door works normally. Alright, and here I noticed one of those fins is actually still out. So just like I did before, I'm going to pry that out and set it back in the hole. And that's fine. And this actually clipped in much more readily than the cup holder. Just a little firm forward pressure and those 2 sides caught, and then from there I could rock in the top. And once all 4 are clipped, it is ready to head back to the car. And we're back in the car, ready to install our fully assembled and working cup holder AC vent. Here you can see the stud where we're going to install our 10mm nut, and then up front in the plastic right here is where the screw is going to go. So we're going to take our vent and look that over. There is a plastic tab right there that does not fit in the hole you see. It goes right above it. There's a second clip that does go in that hole, and you're just going to line it up, feed it in, and if you give it a little push, it should click into place. There we are. I cut away here to readjust the camera. I'm not sure if it made that much of a difference, but here we go. So we're going to take our 10mm nut, and I just put it on the socket so I can use it like a screwdriver. And I just got it in there and rotated until I caught 1 or 2 threads. And unfortunately you can't see it, but once you have that on there, you can just use your finger to thread that all the way up. And from here, if you come in with the extension, you should be able to get the ratchet on and cinch that up. And now you just have the 1 screw to replace in the front. And from there, just push the panel forward and it will snap back in. If you've made it this far, thanks for sticking around. If this video helped you out, give it a like and consider subscribing. If you have your own tips and tricks, leave them down in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next time in the garage.